Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous, and here is his story. Hi, Ollie. About 3 days ago, I broke no contact for the first time in about 7 or 8 months. It was so stupid, I realize now, but at the time I was in a good mood. I had been watching some religious and spiritual videos about forgiveness. Only later did I notice that none of the videos had anything to do with family scapegoating or narcissistic abuse. Warm and Fuzzy got to me, and in a moment of weakness I went back to La La Land and I communicated online in a friendly way with one of the family of origin narcissistic abusers. That person did not respond. Now, just as you said before, who am I mad at? Myself, of course. I'm trying not to hate myself and beat myself up too much, but it is a miserable struggle. We want to believe that these people have changed, and, that's why, like, that sometimes that warm and fuzzy shit can trip you up, Especially at the like with me, it's like around holidays with those holiday commercials of family and all that, and that's when it gets tempting. I haven't pulled the trigger though, or any time I have. You always end up regretting it, always, because it never works out the way you want it to, because they don't ever change. And you're right. Who are you mad at? Yourself. You're mad at yourself. I'm not trying to hate myself and beat myself up too much, but it is a miserable struggle. My only consolation is that it was only one communication to one person, but all the related victimizers are going to hear about this, and that's just it. You know how the monkey tree works. He reached out. He's saying that's when the stories start. No, she must be miserable. He's alone. He's stewing. We got him where we want him. This is what he did it to himself. That's where it goes. And then in your mind, this is why you're mad at yourself, because you realize nothing has changed. It is a fresh opportunity for the emotionally bankrupt narcissistic terminators to get supply by judging me. They can feel better as they restart their snickering, smearing, and character assassination. I struggled to successfully do no contact through the holidays, and now I blow it when nothing is happening. Sometimes your own mind is your problem. Idle hands, idle mind. It's a tough thing staying no contact, basically cutting off everything you came from, regardless of how abusive they were. This is just like a drug relapse. My subconscious mind wants to go back to what is familiar and forget about how toxic and dangerous it was and is. Another reminder video and pep talk would really be good, not only for me, but for my kids who are still young and don't need an upset, shouting father around. And there's an update to this as well. Today I woke up in the morning and realized that this rage and upset has to do with the breaking no contact that happened about a week ago. Today is a few days later. These past few days have been really bothersome, as I've been feeling angry and hateful in general and feeling cold and distant from my wife and kids. How could it take a week to realize this? It's just weird. Sometimes it does. Listen, how could it take a week? Some of this stuff, it takes decades to realize. Listen. We're not always going to see it. You're not always going to see it right away. Okay, the fact that you saw it in a week and not a month, not a year, not 2 years, not 10 years, not decades, says something. Some of this stuff takes decades. Years of no contact before you get the clarity, man. And it's frustrating and that's where you get mad at yourself. Like, Jesus Christ, I've been walking around like this it took me a week to realize it. But then when you stop and think about it, like, some stuff it's taken me decades to realize. 3, 4, 5, 6 decades for some people before they realize it. A week? Come on. Look where you are. Look where you're coming. Suddenly it was clear why I've been so aggravated this past week. It was like one of those nightmares where something is holding you down and you suddenly break out and wake up. You're right about how important it is to go no contact and stick with it even when it feels wrong. Anonymous. Yeah. You know, you got to stick with it. You got to stick with it. But you also have to realize not every setback is the end of the world either. Decades of abuse. You're not just going to walk away from it and just never, ever, ever, ever have any issues or be able to have a slip up or never be able to look back. Okay, the fact that you might not realize something or something might not register with you immediately, okay, it's part of the learning process. It's part of the process of like, okay, just like everything, at least it didn't take me 3 decades, 4 decades, 5 decades to figure this out. There's things I'm still figuring out, and you're going to figure out that happened years and years and years ago. Okay, so if something happens now this week, and it takes you a few days, or it takes you a week or a month to figure it out, okay, don't look at it. Don't get angry at yourself. Say, okay, this is what's still happening. We don't ever look, and again, there's no cure for this. We're past it. We learn how to maneuver it. We learn how to live with it. We know how to get back to the point we were broken, so we know it's not us, it's them. This is the unfortunate gift of the narcissist. This is how we have to cope. This is how we have to always be, on our game. And nobody can be on point 100% of the time. Nobody can. Okay, but the faster we realize what had happened, the better off we are, and that comes with no contact. If you were still in contact with them, you'd be a lot more than just a little irritable for a week, I would think. So, realize where you are, give yourself some credit, give yourself some space, and always understand narcissistic abuse lasted decades. You're not going to get over it in a week. Period. So, thank you again, Anonymous, for another story and contribution. You are amazing, and I appreciate it. I'm sorry for the delay in getting started again. We've just been having weather issues now in South Florida. The rains have been monsoon-like down here, so internet has been on and off and very sketchy, and we've had power issues. So, again, thank you again, and thank you to everybody for watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it successful, growing, and surviving, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you guys. Without you guys, all of this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance.